Okay, now we look at into training nutrition. Actually, when you do resistance exercise, okay, walaupun dia static, tapi dia juga requires a high rate of energy supplies. But as we learned before this, for a resistance exercise, okay, dia berbeza dengan endurance exercise. Where we know that endurance exercise, they need more carbohydrate for the. But in terms of endurance exercise, when we talk about muscles, it means that we require the main topic is more on protein. Kalau kita belajar yang last week about the endurance exercise, kita banyak fokus kepada karbohidrat loading dan sebagainya ya. Tapi untuk resistant, we are more focusing on protein intake. So usually the main topic is orang kata kebanyakan yang kita akan bincangkan ni adalah pasal protein intake. Walaupun we talk about resistance exercise is more on protein intake, but of course carbohydrate, it is the main source of the energy. Whatever exercise that you want to do, you need an energy. If muscles tu adalah protein bukan adalah untuk energy, but the main is carbohydrate. When we talk about endurance exercise, kita akan katakan bila energy we talk about carbohydrate and fat. Tetapi walau in resistance exercise we are talking about carbohydrate only. And we know that the primary source of energy or the primary source of fuel during resistance exercise adalah carbohydrate. And it is very important. Why carbohydrate also important during resistance exercise? Because we want to make sure that kita tidak menggunakan protein sebagai kita punya energy. So what happen kalau kita gunakan protein? Kita akan break down the muscles. Dan kita tahu bahawa we need a good muscle mass to do the resistance exercise. So maintaining adequate glycogen stores actually can help to attenuate the muscles breakdown during exercise. And not only that, kalau kita makan karbohidrat cukup sebenarnya, dia akan menyebabkan kita akan keep our both immune dan juga NACS untuk function normally. Kalau kita makan low carbohydrate intake, study have found that actually it can suppress our immune and also our central nerve system functioning. And again, macam kita belajar sebelum ni juga, the muscle breakdowns akan meningkat kalau we do the resistance exercise dalam keadaan fasted or when we dalam keadaan we take low intake of carbohydrate. So banyak yang menunjukkan bahawa there is a lot of muscle breakdown which is not good for the training exercise or for the for the resistance exercise or resistance training. When you do or you eat during the empty stomach. A single resistance training session actually, you just imagine when you do the resistance training or resistance exercise, there is a reduction in our muscle glycogen stores as much as 24 to 40% the amount of depletion. So bila you tak cukup makan karbohidrat, benda tu dia akan affect the protein pula. So the reduction in muscle glycogen stores actually we know that it can associated with performance impairment. And it's very important to make sure that especially the strength trained athlete to have a moderate carbohydrate intake and also to look at in terms of the recommendations before, during and after exercise. Kalau kita tengok carbohydrate intake ni, kalau before, during, after exercise, dia sama saja macam endurance exercise. Dia tak ada perbezaan. It means that kalau untuk before, dia kena makan 1 gram per kilogram of body weight, which is kalau 1 hour prior to exercise, ataupun 2 gram or 2 hours prior to exercise. Itu kalau untuk carbohydrate intake, ataupun dia kena makan lebih kurang 5 hingga 10 gram per kilogram of body weight dalam masa 1 hari. So that is for the carbohydrate lah. Maknanya the carbohydrate intake untuk resistant training or resistant exercise, dia sama juga macam exercise, which is about 5 to 10 gram per kilogram of body weight. Okay. Tetapi kalau untuk protein, Untuk protein, dia punya requirement dia agak berbeza compared to uh, uh, the endurance exercise. Recommend of protein intake untuk itu berbeza. Kalau untuk endurance, kalau kita belajar kilogram of body weight. Tetapi untuk strength training ni, kalau kita tengok balik pada nota kita, dia memerlukan around 1.2 to 1.7 gram per kilogram per day hingga 2 gram per kilogram per day. And this is recommended of body weight. Kalau protein is about 1.2 to 1.7 gram ataupun 1.4 to 2 gram per kilogram of day. Okay, ini adalah untuk protein intake. And however, walaupun atlet dia kata dia nak makan banyak protein, because they want to have muscles, tapi study have found that they offer no benefit, no further benefit. Simply dia akan promote increase in amino acid catabolism and also protein oxidation. And intense period of resistance training, actually they can reduce protein turnover. Okay? And this is good actually. So the resistance training dia akan menyebabkan the protein reduce dan meningkatkan what we call as a net protein retention. Maknanya net protein retention bermaksudnya muscle protein synthesis, okay, dia akan lebih banyak daripada muscle breakdown. Sebab dia apa? Dia akan mengurangkan protein turnover. Sebab tu kita kata dia akan improve the net protein retention. Which is benda ni akan reduce the relatively dietary protein requirements of experienced resistant trained athlete. Maknanya pada mana-mana yang experienced athlete, the requirements is not high as a people of the new training. Sebab apa? Kita tahu bahawa dia punya turnover of protein adalah sangat-sangat rendah berbanding dengan dia orang kata the new of trained athlete. And when we talk about protein juga dalam resistance training or resistance exercise, it's not actually about protein, but the quality of protein also is very, very important. And where it has been shown that when you ingest about 20 gram of high biological value protein, whereas dalam 20 gram ni dia ada lebih kurang 8 hingga 10 gram essential amino acid, no more than 5 to 6 times daily, dia akan menyebabkan the maximal stimulation of MPS, muscle protein synthesis. Bila you makan 20 gram of high biological value protein, okay, no more than 5 to 6 times daily, dalam satu hari you makan dalam 20 gram of high biological value protein, dia akan menyebabkan the maximal stimulation of MPS. Jadi nak makan protein pun you kena tengok jenis-jenis protein. Kalau boleh kita akan makan protein yang high biological value macam daging lah, for example.